Derby d'Italia was a very evenly matched affair. The host had the first chance in Sunday evening's game, but Fabrizio Ravanelli missed the goal by a hair's breadth. Wim Jonk does much better on the other side. The Dutch international beats goalkeeper Angelo Peruzzi with this impressive left-footed shot and puts Inter in the lead. But Juventus responded immediately after the restart. Angelo Pagliuca managed to save Vialli's shot, but Roberto Baggio was quicker than the Inter defense and easily slotted the rebound into the empty net. The teams went into the break with the score at 1-1. Not much happened in the second half. Both teams were primarily focused on playing it safe. Dennis Bergkamp had the best chance when he suddenly found himself alone in front of Peruzzi, but he sent the ball just wide of the goal, so the game ended in a draw. In the match between Fiorentina and Lazio, Zeman's style of play was on full display. First, the risky defense was punished when Francesco Baiano put his team in the lead. It was the first goal of the season for the former Zeman player in Foggia. But their outstanding offensive potential can never be completely shut down. Fiorentina are not afraid to take risks either, and so the immediate equalizer by Casiraghi is the logical consequence. In a game like this, a goal from Gabriel Batistuta is a must. After winning the ball in their own half, the Viola immediately switched to attack. The Argentine superstar rounds goalkeeper Marchigiani and slots home with ease. The score remained unchanged for a long time, but Lazio showed character and got back into the game. Midfielder Diego Fuser entered the penalty area and converted a cross from the right. This is Lazio's second consecutive game without a win. They will need to secure a victory in their home game against Napoli next week to prevent their city rivals from pulling further ahead at the top of the table. Today, however, Roma capitalized on another slip-up to secure their fifth win in 5 games. In the match against Sampdoria, the 2 South American strikers were once again the match winners. Daniel Fonseca scored the opening goal for the Giallorossi. After Sampdoria desperately tried to catch up, Abel Balbo scored the decisive 2-0 goal with a header in injury time in the second half. Things couldn't be better for Roma at the moment, but next week the league leaders face a tricky away game against Torino. Toro faced Parma in the afternoon and took the lead thanks to a major mistake by Luigi Apolloni, which was capitalized on by former Parma player Marco Osio. Osio was part of the team that secured promotion to Serie A in 1990 and celebrated the club's first major successes with the Coppa Italia victory in 1992 and the European Cup Winners' Cup against Royal Antwerp a year later. Parma owes its point to its eccentric Colombian star, Faustino Asprilla, who slammed the ball into the goal in his usual manner. Due to the three-point rule that has been in effect since this year, such draws are no longer as easy to cope with as they used to be. Parma will have to try to reduce the gap in the next few games in order to achieve its ambitious goals for the season. On the fifth match day, AC Milan finally secured their long-awaited first win of the season in their home game against newly promoted Brescia. Paolo Di Canio, who had already scored last week, put Fabio Capello's team ahead in what was an extremely one-sided game, in which goalkeeper Marco Ballotta made several brilliant saves to prevent further goals. After an exemplary cross from Croatian Boban, Marco Simone sealed the deal with his header. For now, Capello can work a little more calmly, but it's clear that further slip-ups will immediately cause unrest again. A winning streak will be necessary to make up for lost ground. Next up is a match against Padova, the clear underdog, next week. Genoa had a disastrous afternoon in their home game against Reggiana. In the first half, the visitors took a 1-0 lead thanks to one of Nigerian international Sunday Olise's feared long-range shots. The score remained unchanged until well into the second half. The hosts pressed forward for a long time, but lacked the pace and ideas to create clear scoring chances, and striker Tomasz Szkuravi was well marked by the Reggiana defenders. In the final stages, the visitors sealed the deal. Massimiliano Esposito scored the second goal with a tap-in. In the final stages, Genoa showed clear signs of dissolution. The frustration was palpable given the lackluster performance, and the fans vented their displeasure if they hadn't already left the stadium. This makes scoring goals easy, and Esposito knows how to take advantage of it. Genoa fell apart in the final minutes, and Esposito even managed to score a third goal. The final score was a shocking 0-4 from the host's perspective. It remains to be seen whether coach Franco Scoglio will survive this and still be on the bench next week against Brescia. The visitors, however, celebrated their triumph euphorically. Napoli started their home game against Padova in a storming fashion and took the lead through left-back Roberto Pollicano after less than 10 minutes. As was the case in their recent game against Juventus, the support of their own fans seems to give the team from southern Italy a particular boost. Just a few minutes later, the second goal of the day follows. Pollicano is up front again, but this time he is the assist provider. His cross finds Massimo Agostini, who decisively sends the ball into the net. What a start to the game for the Neapolitans. After that, however, the hosts merely defended their lead and failed to add to their tally. Instead, the visitors pulled one back through a goal from Croatian striker Vlahovic, but they were unable to find an equalizer. Napoli celebrates an important home win ahead of their tough away game against Lazio. The match between the two southern Italian teams, Bari and Cagliari, developed into a thrilling game that remained exciting until the very end. Igor Proti put Bari ahead shortly before halftime. Cagliari's most reliable goalscorer is responsible for the equalizer. Belgian international Luis Oliveira fires the ball into the net. The Sardinian team, which reached the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup last season, is proving once again this season to be an extremely difficult opponent for any team. Shortly afterwards, a combination between the two strikers puts them in the lead. This time, Oliveira sets up Roberto Muzzi, who slots the ball home. Cagliari has turned the game around. A quarter of an hour before the end, Bari equalized with a header from Amadeo Mangon following a corner kick from the right. The center-back, who originally came up through the ranks at Milan, has been playing for Bari for a year and immediately secured a place in the starting lineup. But unfortunately for Mangone, the game wasn't over yet. Just moments before, he had been the hero, but after a mistake in defense, he suddenly became the unlucky one who deflected the ball into his own goal, sealing his team's defeat. That's how quickly things can change sometimes. We hope he recovers from this negative experience as fast as possible. Games involving Foggia continue to be highly entertaining. This was also the case in their away game against Cremonese. Igor Kolovanov put his team 1-0 up after a nice combination. Unfortunately for them, Foggia has not yet managed to score more goals than they concede in a game this season. Today, their defense proved to be very porous once again. And when an exceptional talent like Enrico Chiesa is playing on the other side, disaster is inevitable. However, Cremonese also showed significant weaknesses in defense, and so the visitors managed to regain the lead after a mistake by the opposing defender, even if it was not to last long. Because immediately afterwards, the equalizer came again. After a cross from the left, Chiesa, completely unmarked, had no trouble scoring his second goal of the afternoon. But that's not all. With this penalty kick, the striker, who is on loan from Sampdoria, scores his third goal of the day. After a good hour, Andrea Tentoni puts the final nail in the coffin with a spectacular direct shot after a cross from the right. For Foggia, the season continues to be depressing, and next week they face a very tough opponent in Juventus. Cremonese will face Cagliari away. Finally, as usual, let's take a look at the table. Roma is the big winner of this extremely eventful match day with 30 goals and benefits from the points lost by its competitors. Milan has climbed to 10th place. And also Cremonese and Reggiana both celebrated their first wins of the season this week. Foggia remains in the 18th place. The many goals also caused some changes in the scoring charts. Esposito leads ahead of 3 players with 4 goals each. Roma captain Giuseppe Giannini continues to lead the way among the top assist providers. Thank you very much for your attention and see you next time.